Hello. Still continuing with what we call the stats and mathematical functions. This one's going to be looking at COUNTIF, countblank, and rank.EQ. So it's part of the syllabus again for the accredited ICDL Advanced Spreadsheet software. And this qualification is being demonstrated, the syllabus on it, demonstrated using Excel 2016, but you can still use the Office 365 because it's very much the same. So we're looking at COUNTIF, countblank, and rank. Rank.EQ, not rank as it is normally, because we're in a different version. It changed to a .EQ once the version's changed in Microsoft. So that's the reason for it. There's plenty of info on how to do these. So back criteria, once again, pretty much like some of the others we've done, like SUMIF. So hopefully it should be more straightforward. If it's just these you want to look at, that's fine. If not, there's others before this that do cover some of the other stats and maths functions. So hopefully you'll enjoy those. I'm Stephanie Toman. Thank you for watching.
So in the first instances here, we have a COUNTIF. Most of us have used a COUNTIF. If not, well, this is where we're going to start. So we're counting data within a cell that meets a criteria, not adding it up, counting it. Okay, so hence we get 4. So it's less than 500. If I change the criteria to more than 500 and entered it in, well, that's weird, get the same amount. Let's do more than 9. Then it's slightly different. Okay, so you can see that it's counting data cells that meet that less than 500. Let's do it together. So we're going in equals COUNTIF. You can see how you can make spelling mistakes quite easily. You're picking up the range where you're going to count, and then you've got to speech mark, remember, if you're going to type it in yourself, so that less than 500 is accepted. If we were going to do that in an FX, we'd start the function. Let's say we weren't sure. Let's not start the function. Let's go into FX. I'm really not sure about what this is getting at. So what we're going to do is we're going to type in count and go. So I've got a count, I've got a count A, and I've got a COUNTIF. So count just counts number range. That's if it's mixed with data and text. And this is one we need. So we've got it now. So sometimes using this is just a bit of a help to find your way, but you have to be really careful with those key words that I used at the beginning, because it doesn't always bring things up. So you have to know a little bit. So the range we can pop in there, and the criteria we could do the less than 500, and it will speech mark it for us, and we'll get the right result. You can see that it's done that for you. So speech marks and commas and all those things don't need to be properly adhered to. If you're in a FX, it will help you, but if you're not, you will need to make sure they're very tight. So on this one, let's do it together. So COUNTIF. Let's do the FX, nice and easy. We've got our range. We've got our criteria, which is greater than 900. Okay, and it's done. This one, however, this one's asking you to count the range here, J6, J14, the cells that have no order. So when I ask this in class, most students will they use their initiative, they find a way, and they'll do all sorts of things to find out what it is. One of the examples would be a count blank. But if it was a count blank and I came in and I put something like no order, that count blank wouldn't work. So what you need to do, you need to use your initiative, and this is particularly something that you need to think about in the exam. So let's see how we could do it. So we've got our COUNTIF. We can do it in the FX. So we're trying to think, there's our range. What could we put in here that counts those blank spaces, but if I came along and I changed things, would it still count them? So what we could use is we could be quite clever and we could use a not order. So count any other cell that doesn't have that word order in it. And then if we OK, we get 5. And then if I come in and do something there, we still get 5. But if I delete an order, it changes. So think about that with regard, if you're going to type it in, the same as before, COUNTIF, range, comma, speech mark. There's your chevrons back and forward. Order, which is the text. Oops, spell it properly. Important. Speech mark it again and close it off. And there you have it. Okay, so just be really aware of that little step up on the COUNTIF. Count blanks, really straightforward. I don't even know if they come up in the exam, but they definitely are in the syllabus, but they're very straightforward and there's no tricks up the sleeves with that one. It's just, it is what it is. Okay, so RANK.EQ is the final one in this workbook. And the reason we use .EQ is simply because it's the new version since 2010, MS 2010. We've had to change to .EQ. Rank is not acceptable anymore. It's not used. Okay, so that's the only reason. So I've got an example here where I've done something already and I've used a .EQ, and it's asking me, as it says here, what rank is 156 or A6 is the reference in A6 to A14 descending. Okay, so where does 156 rank in a descending order in that range? That's what it's getting at. Now I've done that. I've done the rank EQ. I've done the first instance, A6. I've done the range A6 to A14, and I've done the order, which is descending. However, when I autofill, I get these green arrows. So I'm thinking something's not right there. So if I double click on one of those, do you see how the range is moving down? So as I've autofilled down, so has that range. So guess what? We need to absolute, don't we? So a range that we're sticking to in a rank needs the F4 applying to it, and it needs to be absoluted, and then it will work correctly. Right, first of all, before we change things over here to see how it copes, we're going to delete this and we're going to do it from scratch. So we know we've got to think about absolution. If we forget, we can do what we did. We can go back in and do it again. So let's do it, typing it in. So rank.EQ. If I hover on the other one, there we go. We're going to click on the first instance, A6, comma. We're clicking on the range. Oops. That's it. Where it sits, we're going to F4 it, comma. And notice how this little help comes up here, descending or ascending. So double click on the 0, close it off, and enter. And because we've done the absolute, no green arrows. And it works beautifully because that's all in a sequence, just so that we can see that it works beautifully. Let's do it the other way. So equal rank, or let's even see if we can find a rank. Put it over here. Let's type in we know it's a rank of some sort. Go. That's the .EQ returns the rank number of list of numbers size relative to its mother value has the same rank, the top rank. That sounds like ours. It could have a look at the other ones though. If more than one value has the same rank, the average rank. No, we're not looking for that. We're looking for just a straightforward rank number to come back. Okay, so let's use that one. So we know we're in the right one. We have our first instance, A6. The ref is the reference to the range it sits within. We're going to F4 it while it's in there. And then if we click in here, it will once again help us to put the right order in. Okay, and double click. And the beauty of it is that if I change these to 200, the rank will change. Okay, so that's the whole point of using the RANK.EQ